What's up, everybody? You guys already know who this is. Platinum Assassin himself, Big Lou, tapping back in for what it do with Big Lou and FZR2, baby, baby. Um, you know the normal spill, peoples. First time you coming to the channel, highly appreciate it. If you sub, like to share the channel with your family, friends, folks, peoples, gente, buddies, pals, amigos, and all that good stuff. You guys already know. Um, I'm gonna drop this little video. It's not gonna be very long because I already dropped a video earlier on the results of the two UFC 283 results, the two title fights, and the third fight, Gilbert Burns and Neil Magny, that I gave predictions on. But anyways, this little video, since it's January 22nd, it's a significant date in the history um, and to the history of the Northern California uh, movement, right? I'm just gonna leave it at that. Um, and so I watched Flacco's video earlier. Shouts out to Flacco. He's always in depth and great on the breakdowns, right? Um, but what this is about that day, January 22nd, is also a special day because it's my daughter's birthday. So shouts out to her. Happy birthday. Hope you're feeling better. Hope to hear back from you soon here once you get my messages. Anyways, um, and so it was always a good day, January 22nd, as well as September 16th. Besides it being Mexican Independence Day, the festivities going on amongst the boys and the fellas in behind the walls, right? But basically, what I want to shed light, shed light in a general sense, I guess you could say. Some people, it's looked at like, you know, you're living your life out here and you're doing whatever you do. You know what I mean? Um, if you're functioning on a certain level, on another level, then hey, you know what I mean? Just make sure that if you're gonna do it, whatever you're gonna do, you do it, go all gas, no brakes, go hard in the paint. What I mean by that is be sincere about it, be committed and be loyal. Don't be shady, don't be shisty, don't be janky because it will come back to bite you in the ass. And not to mention that, do your best. I mean, your very best not to get involved into the underhanding in the backyard, not backyard, but backdoor politicking. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Because if you, the less your name's brought up in any type of controversy as far as lining up with other folks, you know what I mean? The better you'll be in the end. So I'll just leave it at that. But anyways, this is like I said, this video is a little more to speak about in general. So to those, those of you that are behind the walls that are doing your thing, and to those of you that are on the outs doing your thing, and maybe you haven't been, maybe you've been to jail, but you haven't been to state prison yet, or federal prison for that matter, because it's functioning out here is one thing. You know what I'm saying? Doing your thing out here with the boys, with the fellas, that's one thing. But when you're behind the walls, it's a whole nother level, right? And what I mean by that is there ain't guns, you don't have pistols back in there, right? You got another thing they call bangers, you know what I mean? And a lot of people don't have it in them to fulfill what we call movidas, pegadas with those type of instruments in your hand, right? And if you want to politic on that type of level, it will come. It will come. Your number will be selected. You know what I mean? Well, your ticket will be called. You know what I'm saying? And you will be expected to handle your business without any questions asked. Because once you start asking questions, that's a bad look, right? And it's considered it ain't considered. It is going against the grain. You're never to question anything, any directives you're given nowadays. Well, it's been like that for a while. At one point in time, if you were told, hey, this guy is no good, he wasn't able to keep that quiet. You could say, well, hey, let me check out the P dubs. Let me look at the paperwork. I want to see the proof in black and white. Now, if you speak up, well, it's been like that for some time now, where you can't ask to see paperwork, or you can't say anything that might sound like questioning the directive. It'll be considered going against the grain, and it'll be highly frowned upon. You know what I'm saying? That's for sure. But what I'm getting into is this: even if you don't decide to further what they call further your education, right? Learn more, learn more, further your education, make those steps. Um, and you're just a regular homeboy, you know what I'm saying? There's still going to be some things asked of you to handle, right? And that might just be with some intelligence, what we ganas, stuff like that, you know anything that's put on paper, right? Anything that's put on paper, and everybody knows we do the mini writing and all that stuff. So everything's always number one. Big deal with homeboys is secure. Everything's got to be secured. And so what that means, people, for those that don't know, that means the cajuela, your trunk, right? Your backside, your poop chute. Right? I'm just keeping it real. I'm trying to make it sound funny, but it's something serious, right? You will be, and it's not like you'll be say they'll ask you like, "Hey, homie, put this there." No, that's part of the it's part of the it is what it is. It's part of the training, right? It's part of what you're uh part of the schooling, and secure, securing things. It's always big, huge. Things always have to be secure. Not only yourself, not only everybody as a collective, but also anything that has to do with intelligence, as far as within your group and within the group segment, your group segment, within your peoples, within your household. So there's only two places where, well, there's really only one place where it's really considered secure, and that's what I just said, your trunk, right? A lot of people say, "Oh, that's only an exit. That's not an entrance." Well, hey, check this out. If you start getting caught up with intelligence, right? With in house, you know, uh, your group segment, your people's, any type of directives, any type of implementations, any type of filters, any type of rosters, any type of anything with people's names, CDC numbers, anything like that. At one point it's changed now. I don't know how they do it now, but at one point that was considered obviously gang intelligence. Therefore, you can get validation points and maybe even be validated. But like I said, things have changed now, so I really don't know how they work that. But nonetheless, you don't want to be. That was highly frowned upon. If you got caught up with any type of anything, they're looking at you like, what the hell happened? You're supposed to secure that. How would they just go into your cell and find it? You know what I'm saying? So that's it would be terribly on your behalf, terribly a bad mistake to make. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, as I said, there's only two places secure. One is there, which is the main spot, and the other one would be in your mouth, and that's just temporary, right? I mean, they're both temporary, but your mouth, you have to speak, so you have to, that's like just for like a quick one. If you have to real fast, you know what I mean? If not, swallow it, depending on what's going on. But you know things like that, people need to really think about it. If you haven't been in that position yet, think about it, because that's one of the things that will be asked upon you. Ask for you. It's well, not even ask. It's just like it's common sense thing. It's like chewing bubble gum, right? It's like washing up. It's just a normal thing that you already know what you have to do. I mean, do you want to be going to the hole? Here you are going to the yard, to the hole, but you got to take some stuff that got to go to another area of the building or another building. And because you get yard with that building or that area of the yard or the building, excuse me, another building or that other side of the building, and you have to, take take a line and take some paper, some you can wad up some toilet paper real quick, just like if you're just a couple cages away. You know what I mean? But all that's going to be asked of you. Put some lube in your belly button, you know what I'm saying? Or you're going to stick it up in there dry, you know what I'm saying? This is all things you got to think about. Are you willing to do all this? And these are things that are going to be expected of you, you know what I'm saying? Not to mention that if you're going to, a lot of things is uncomfortable. A lot of things that you have to do is uncomfortable. There was another cat that had made videos, and he was always talking about, he having to use the same, never having the proper, uh, like in Tracy, we used to get a lot of saran wrap, you know what I mean, with our bread. Our bread would be saran wrapped, not just the regular plastic, the PIA plastic that it comes in, you know what I'm saying? So it always would be encouraged for everybody to save that, you know what I mean? Because it comes in handy for when you're shooting your line and shooting anything on the line that has to do with the household, right? With assisting the house, you know what I'm saying? And all that, you would have to keep, save it, and then you'd have homeboys would ask you, hey, you have any extra saran wrap? Yeah. So you hear this cat was making videos, and he was talking about how he started getting sick. The plastic was sharp, hard plastic. It started cutting him in the inside of I guess his colon, I guess, and having issues, so all that stuff, man, you have to think about all that stuff. People think it's all hunky-dory and stuff, going to the joint and losing time and catching time for the cause and blah blah blah. But really, when it's said and done, the cause can give a flying mother about you. It's just what it is, man. And even everybody's expendable. Even actual members. You see these stories about these guys. You hear these guys. You know what I'm saying? Boxer. Rojo, Flaco, Chongo. All these cats that were, members, but they were like, cat ones and cat twos, you know what I mean? But look what they did to Mike Eel, you know what I'm saying? Look what they did to Mike Eel. Look what happened with Brown Bob. These were high ranking members. You know what I'm saying? So it just, everybody's expendable, and a lot of those cats that I believe they had those things done to these dudes, they were lifers. Because like besides BB and MC, they were the only ones that on the inner current, that high ranking of a member of a category 3 that were actually had dates, or Wino, you had Wino, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, everybody else was lifers and been down since the 70s, you know what I'm saying? I think Corny maybe 1980 or something like that. But Corny, even, no, Corny has a B number 2. So those dudes all been down since the 70s, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm pretty sure some of them were a little animosity towards all that and whatever the inner crap was going on. But everybody's expendable, people. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how much money you make. It's what are you doing for me right now? I don't care how much money you made for me last week and the week before and 3 weeks back and 9 months back. But what can you do for me right now? That's what it's all about. And you will find yourself in positions, especially if you want to get deep into it and start politicking. You know what I'm saying? I always remember this. I remember from OGs telling me, but it resonated with me. It made me remember when I heard Michael Francis say that his dad told him that, hey, you don't want to be pointing the finger at nobody. Basically, what he's saying was politicking, because you never know who's going to be the boss, right? So this dude might be a soldier today, an acting captain today, but 2-3 years down the line, maybe even 10 years down the line, now he's sitting in a higher position, and he's going to remember what you were saying and the push you were pushing on him with whatever internal factions within, they'll always remember who you lined up with against them. So, that's why I always say, be committed. If you're going to do something, be loyal, but be loyal to the bigger scheme of things, the entity itself, not no one person. You know what I'm saying? And it always, everything, man, is created for the most part. Everything's created for a good reason, but then they end up, getting tainted and being, the greed, the money thing always comes in, the power, and it always messes things up. Everything was created always ends up messing up. Everything that's man-made, created by man, ends up being jacked up for one reason. When it comes to organizations, and for betterment of your people and to help people and look out for people. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things, people. That was just one little thing I mentioned about, putting things that is not designed to put things in, only to come out. Like people say, it's an exit only, not an entrance. And there's much truth to that. But when in that world, that's not true. You know what I'm saying? And you will be put in positions. You will be put in positions to do things that you're not going to feel comfortable doing. Another thing is, having access to family visits, visits alone, but family visits, you're going to start getting pressured to have things brought in by your family members. And, depending on who you are and how, how they bring it to you, how they put it on the table in front of you, how they pitch it to you, depending on who you are and how you're able to take that, it could be done in a threatening manner, and you might feel threatened and be scared, and then you pass it on to your peoples, and now or it just might be you feel like, oh yeah, I'm doing it for the homies, I'm doing it for the bigger scheme of things, if you're a bunter or something, and you feel like, oh yeah, this is gonna get me in good with them, but to really be honest with you, no, it's not. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for that particular moment, but things will change, and now and I'm just telling you, people, I've seen it many times over. You see all the stories here now. Not everybody's story is not going to be spot on as far as exactly what happened. It was their interpretation how it happened and the outcome and how they felt about it. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's true how they felt about it, but everything in between might have been laid out differently and played out differently, and this is just their side of it. But what's true, definitely true about it is that people are asked to do things and pushed up on to do things that they really don't want to do, and they do it for all the wrong reasons. Which it could be trying to get in good with the boys, who you think you're getting in good with the fellas, or fear, you know what I'm saying, and it's, pride, fear, and all that stuff, and greed, you know what I'm saying. So it's all going to be done for the wrong reasons, and you're putting not only yourself in jeopardy, but your family members in jeopardy, and things like that. So always do your best to think about it, peoples. If you haven't been there yet, or you have been there and now, and you're perhaps thinking about maybe making a bigger step, or an idea has been pitched to you, just think about it. You know what I'm saying? And I'll leave it at that. And with that being said, enjoy, everybody. I wish everybody out there blessed, positive, and productive remainder of your Sunday. Back to work tomorrow. Big Luke tapping out.